What's up, guys? So Ray Lewis is a name that's pretty much synonymous with winning, leadership, and anything to do with the Baltimore Ravens organization. This is a man who's won 2 Super Bowls, a Super Bowl MVP, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, a 13-time Pro Bowler, just about every accolade you can think of, all while being recognized as the greatest middle linebacker of all time. Then on the other hand, you have Shannon Sharpe, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, recognized as one of the game's greatest tight ends, a Hall of Famer, and someone who's developed into a bigger persona after his NFL career in the sports media world. Most of us remember him sitting across from Skip Bayless on Undisputed and then parlaying that successful 7-year stint into 2 huge podcasts, one in the sports media world and the other in the entertainment and culture world. Nonetheless, these two were like brothers, with Ray being somewhat of a big bro to Shannon after his 1 season in Baltimore with the Ravens. Shannon was a guy who was there for Ray Lewis when he was going through his murder trial, picking him up at the courthouse and letting him crash at his place. So these two obviously had a bond, but their relationship turned sour years ago, which I will address later in the video. In the meantime, I'll get into the interview Patrick Bet-David had with Ray Lewis recently, because in this clip, Ray says a lot of shocking things about Shannon Sharpe.
Shannon Sharpe, did you think he was one day going to be a good TV guy personality?
Yeah.
So you knew he was made for TV?
Yeah.
And would he say he's going to do it?
Yes, he had already started prepping.
How much before he retired did he tell?
He'd been started.
Oh, so he's known he's going to be doing that?
Yeah.
So you're not surprised by the success he's having with his podcast and TV and him and Skip and Stephen A., all that stuff?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm shocked at his content. I wouldn't, in a million years, the things that Shannon has said now or did now, I would never believe that Shannon will say or do any of these things.
Like what?
Simply, I take drinking. Shannon, in my entire career, I've never saw Shannon with a drink. Ever. Like it was against the law, right? Because he had some stuff in his family that he didn't want to follow that. And then so I kind of started to watch him, and then we kind of went our own separate ways because I'm like, you're going to take that route. I can't go that route. Never can go that route. And that route is to become so worldly that you become popular because you're talking about ignorance, right? A lot of times, a lot of these gossip conversations that they're having and bringing up all this stuff, I'm not going to do that to nobody. I'm not in the business for that. I'm in life to try to teach people what does it mean to be a better man or get back to the kingdom, And a lot of times, a lot of the guys get in trouble with these podcasts and things, man, because everybody wants the follower, everybody wants to be popular, everybody wants to make money, but that's a tight rope into what you call influence and popularity, right? The devil has the ability to make you popular. God has the ability to give you influence that when people see you, they see an image of him. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing for me that started to switch with not just Shannon, but just a couple of people. I'm like, wow, you would switch out like that? Really? And I would never, ever. Why? Because of the respect that I have for my mother, my daughters, my granddaughters, life, period. And I think men, given these new platforms, we've overrode what the platform is actually for. The platform is supposed to help somebody find a new direction. We don't help. Everybody just gets on. Everybody's talking now. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody's the new marriage coach. Everybody's the new relationship coach. And ain't nobody coaching themselves. Because if you were coaching yourself, when it says power of life and death is found in the tongue, then go back and check out a couple of your episodes and ask yourself, do you give life or do you give death? And that's why, me personally, I kind of do my own thing, stay in my own lane. Yeah.
Okay, so that was Ray Lewis talking about Shannon Sharpe and I guess exposing his old friend for creating a fake persona for financial gain in his eyes. He's referencing during Shannon's Undisputed days when he began playing a character with a do-rag, drinking Hennessy, and smoking Black & Miles. This was right around the time people started referring to Shannon as Unc. And for what it's worth, he was mainly doing it for laughs, but a lot of people, not just Ray Lewis, had issues with Shannon playing this character.
What did you think about the character? The Uncle Shay Shay character. He didn't come on the show doing that with the Black and Mild and the do-rag and the Hennessy and all that stuff.
When he first started it?
Yeah, he didn't come on with that at first when he first got on the show. So when all that came about, what you think about that too?
Okay, it's better for you guys to respond to that than me, but I was still very close with Stephen A. at that point, and he did not love it.
No, yeah.
Okay. And I defer to you.
Nobody did. So we
okay.
we'll just leave it there.
But you know what? You talk about branding, you talk about Stephen A. Smith. To be Unc was big for Uncle Shannon. And out of that, which he, I think it went away. I don't remember him doing it much over the last couple of years. I don't think he ever did it. But whatever. Unc stayed. Shay stayed. So it ended up being positive for him.
Mm-hmm.
It made me pretty uncomfortable from my seat.
That's why I don't like the character. I didn't like that. I didn't like that he had to go through that little hole to get all those big rewards. But he did. And who am I? And supposedly Stephen A. didn't like it. And nobody, according to Stacks, nobody liked it. But he did it. And it was done.
So yeah, this wasn't just Ray Lewis speaking about Shannon's online persona back in 2018 and 2019. Marcellus Wiley also mentioning there were others who had issues with this. But in my honest opinion, I don't think this made Shannon blow up to as big as he is now. He was already getting eyeballs and clicks just from his humor and his granny quotes that resonated with his audience. Anyways, Ray actually said something pretty interesting about Shannon that he had never seen him drink before. And then he said something about the reason being because someone in his family had some alcohol issues that he didn't want to follow.
Right? Because he had some stuff in his family that he didn't want to follow that.
Now this could mean a number of things, but it's interesting now that because of that online Unc persona Shannon played, he kind of parlayed that character into a huge VSOP brand with Laportier named after his granny. Look, I'm not criticizing a grown man for wanting to drink later in his life, that's his choice, but I do recall Shannon saying that he's not the type to go out and party and that he prefers to stay at home and either prepare for work for the next day. The next thing Ray Lewis criticized Shannon for was popularizing ignorance and gossiping on his podcast, which I assume he's referring to Club Shay Shay when Shannon started bringing on comedians and other celebrities on his platform who began calling out other people in the industry. That's what I'm guessing because I remember Unc was getting a lot of flack for a show being a bit messy with all the drama, and a lot of people started taking issue with this platform. Nonetheless, there's no denying that all this drama blew up his podcast, Club Shay Shay, with the Cat Williams interview. And ultimately, I think the message Ray was trying to convey was that Shannon basically got hungry for the money and success and was willing to do whatever it took to get there. That fame and success basically got to his friend and changed him. Now, with all that said, I want to go back to this relationship between Shannon Sharpe and Ray Lewis because it's no secret that this relationship soured after the Colin Kaepernick kneeling incident where Ray was called out by Shannon for getting on both knees. I remember watching this when it happened and was pretty shocked that Shannon went so hard on Ray. I don't know why I was shocked because Unc never really holds back when it comes to work. He'll call out anyone, but the backlash Ray got for this kneeling incident was crazy. Everyone in his community was calling him an Uncle Tom, a sellout, and posting that Django meme with Ray. And I guess Shannon's comments about Ray kind of amplified everything and made it worse because the very next day, Ray Lewis went on Inside the NFL and pretty much lambasted Shannon Sharpe.
As well, too, because in fact, you did take a knee when you are allegedly on record as saying that you never would. Talk about
actually two knees,
and that's the point.
Let's make sure you hear people saying, "Oh, he took a knee." I absolutely did not take a knee. I walked onto the.
Hold on, let's be clear. When you say you hear people say,
you hear Shannon Sharpe going out there talking about I dropped on a knee, and this is about I sat in the chair next to him, and I said I would never do this, and I still didn't do it.
Why are you mentioning him? What does he have to do?
He goes out and tells somebody why he's so disappointed in me.
In you?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm 42 years old with 6 kids. I'm a grown man. So to be disappointed in me, it really sparked me. And now all of these people are going off his sound bites of how he's so shocked that I dropped on the knee to protest. Really? You got my phone number, brother. A friend picks up the cell phone and say, bro, what was your intention?
Now, the deterioration of this relationship has never been made public, but I kind of put 2 and 2 together when Unc would have all these former NFL guests on his Club Shay Shay podcast, like Warren Sapp, Deion Sanders, Eddie George, and so on, but no Ray Lewis. No mention of Ray, and it's pretty sad that this relationship turned out this way considering they had so much history together. Anyways, guys, what do you think about what Ray Lewis had to say about Shannon, and do you think there's some truth to this comments?